Hey everyone, Ryan Young, KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu. Hope you're doing well. Let's answer Adam Cyroc's comment on, that's a video I did working out with me, the Jiu-Jitsu workout. I've actually got one more coming out by soon. If you haven't seen it by now, it should be up any day now. It's just a different part of the warm-up sequence that we do. So his question is, Adam's question is, what about warm-ups? I am 42 and recently joined a different school, and we do 20 minutes of warm-ups before the lesson. Before this, my old school, we didn't warm up at all, but rather worked on technique and drills to warm up. So they used Jiu-Jitsu to warm up. So here's the thing with us. There's a lot of ways to be good at Jiu-Jitsu. The way we do it at KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu is we do, let's say, a 2-hour class, which is our evening class and our Saturday morning class. We'll do 30 minutes of a warm-up. And that warm-up will include a light warm-up, which includes just simple jogging around and shuffling and doing the crossovers. We do forward rolls, backward rolls, we do shrimps, we do lunges, we do slugs. Those types of moves to kind of get the blood flowing. Then from there we take it up a notch and we do the floor exercise. And that's where the exercises that we do, they're all for mobility. They're all body weight exercises. And a lot of the movements are movements that we do in Jiu-Jitsu and that are very helpful to your Jiu-Jitsu. As well as break falls, right? We do break falls too. Now, where did we get this from? Well, when I started with House and Gracie in the 80s, that's what we did. We had 30 to 45 minutes and it was a hard warm-up. When I moved to California at Gracie Torrance, we did not do them because their classes were 1-hour classes and they started and ended on the dot. When I moved to Hickson School in the like 93 or so, 92, 93, we did the same type of warm-up we did at Helsing School. It was about 30 to 45 minutes. And it was a progressively harder warm-up. So why do we do warm-ups? First of all, the movements are all helpful in Jiu-Jitsu. We're not doing movements that are useless in Jiu-Jitsu. They're all helpful to some part of Jiu-Jitsu. And they're movements that we don't often do if we don't do them. That's number one. Number two is you don't want to rip anything. And you ever have those guys where they say, hey, let's go light, and all of a sudden, Nick's laughing, right? I'm not driving, by the way. I'm riding, so wouldn't that be kind of funny, though, if I were actually driving and I'm filming for you guys? But to make it so you don't fall into that trap, because when you're rolling with someone, you always say, let's go light. You know, a black belt can typically do that. A black belt will just go, yeah, whatever, be really floppy and loose like a noodle. And that's why you don't see a lot of black belts warming up. The good ones will, but a typical black belt has been doing this long enough to where they can control what tempo they train at. And no matter how hard you go, they still can go pretty light and get themselves up to a warm temperature before they start to pick it up. Now, I would do that sometimes, especially when I'm teaching privates. But in class, we do the full workout because it does a couple things. It gets you warmed up so you don't get to the point of creating an injury or having it makes it harder to have an injury. And number two, what it does is it takes out a lot of the excess energy in your body so that when we start doing the self-defense, your body is looser, your body is calmed down a little bit. You don't have all this extra energy and you're not going to rip something, like rip somebody's arm or something like that by, when we're twisting it and doing self-defense things. And then lastly, after that part, then we go into the groundwork for another 30 minutes. And that's where we go over these concepts. So our third 30-minute period is often where people are starting, right? And then we progressively take it up to a higher level doing the groundwork drill. And then what we do is in the final last 30 minutes, we actually do hard drills, as we call them. So it could be a sequence that involves, say, passing the guard, getting to knee on belly, getting to mount, choking a person out, and doing it with resistance from your partner. And we do it in rounds. By the time that second hour is up, I always make it available for people to stick around and roll if they want. Very rarely do people take me up on it. Most people just pack their stuff up and they're heading out. Sometimes it's because they just got to get home. It's late. They got to go work in the morning. But a lot of times it's because they're done, right? Their body is done. They're physically tired and they're just ready to shower and go home. Now, another advantage of doing your warm-ups before you do your training is that by having your muscles be a little bit tired, it makes you think more of the concepts that you're learning rather than letting the physical part take over. Because if you remember the old Jiu-Jitsu formula, your physicality plus your technicality equals your overall gain. Yeah? Your P plus T equals your G. What we're trying to do is we're trying to take down the physicality, and we're trying to increase the use of our technicality, because the technicality is really what Jiu-Jitsu is, right? The techniques, the concept, philosophies. Physically, you come in with what you have, but it's Jiu-Jitsu that makes your game elevate. The physical part can do a little bit, but it's a technicality that really improves your game. So why not take the physicality out of the equation and just do the technicality? Well, one way to do it is to trick yourself, trick the mind, by making the body be physically drained. Then that way, the mind won't be able to really make the body go hard, because the body's going to go, no, I'm sorry, tired, can't go that hard anymore. You know, you've already worn me out a little bit. So I use it as kind of a trick that helps you to have your mind opened a little bit more to learn the technical concepts. So I recommend you go a little bit early to class, get yourself nice and warm, get a lot of the extra energy taken out of your body, so that when you do go into the technical stuff, it's a lot easier for you to learn them, because you won't be as strong anymore. And then when you do roll, then you'll be a little bit better off, in my mind. But you know, what do I know, right? So I hope that helps. Those of you who made it this far, please like and subscribe. Also share it if you think this video is worth sharing. And also, if you're in town, come and visit us. We have 3 locations. We have Kama Jiu-Jitsu in Irvine, California. We have Kama Jiu-Jitsu in Dallas, Texas. And Kama Jiu-Jitsu in Austin, Texas. You can also visit us at KamaJujitsuOnline.com, where you can see Master Dave Kama teaching the curriculum at Kama Jiu-Jitsu as we teach it to our students in all our campuses. If you're not anywhere near us, right? It's a great way to do it. You can use it to supplement your training, your current training, and to make you the best that you can be. Anyway, that's all I have for you. Take care. Happy training. Bye now.